Welcome to the Wake Up Dad Show, a Daddiest production. This podcast is for you, Dad. This is where we talk about all things related to dadhood, from parenting to relationships to financial and physical health. Your hosts, Dr. Scott and Dr. Evan, are two dads who are committed to helping you. Join our Facebook community by searching Daddiest, where conscious dads connect and collaborate.
Hey guys, welcome to the Wake Up Dad Show, brought to you by daddyist.com. I've got with me Dr. Scott Batcher, and I am your co-host, Dr. Evan Hill. Today we have an exciting topic for you called Your Excellent Track Record is Meaningless to Her. Before we get into that, if you are on Facebook, find us in the Daddyist Facebook page, which you can like. And you can also message Scott and I directly to get in our private Daddyist Facebook page. So let's get right into the content. Your excellent track record is meaningless to her. Scott, tell us about this.
So if you've been, listening to the last couple of podcasts or last, number of podcasts, you'll see that we're taking chapters out of a book by David Deida called Way of the Superior Man. And so this is just another chapter. And this is a very, very short chapter in the book. It's only 2 pages. So this may be a very short podcast, or it might not, because we've said it before, we'll say it again. You might be sick of us saying this. Like, every sentence that this guy uses could be life-changing. So it's pretty incredible. This one is literally 2 pages long, but I think if you follow this idea, it could very well change your life as well. So what's it called again? What is it?
Your excellent track record is meaningless to her.
So again, we're going back to the masculine and feminine, right? So when we say to her, it means when it's her in her feminine. And basically what that means is the feminine is energy, it's flow, it's passion. It's like the weather, it changes all the time. Whereas the masculine is hunkered down. It's more like the collective consciousness that doesn't change. It's unwavering. So the idea is that us as men in our masculine, we have a track record and we believe in track records. Like, we got buddies who are constantly doing the right thing and are great. They can fuck us around once or twice and we'll totally forgive them for it. All right, we'll just go, man, he's a great guy. He's awesome. He's gonna come back. He's good, right? He's good. He's fine. He's got a great track record. He's great. Mm-hmm. Whereas the feminine doesn't give a shit about your track record. Literally, it's in the moment, because that's just like the weather. Every moment it changes. Like, the weather out there today for me here in Australia is like literally went from cloudy, rainy to sunny to cloudy, back and forth again a few times already, and it's like midday here. So it just is constantly changing. So in that case, it's like this track record thing doesn't mean anything. If you're a good guy, if you're a good man, you're a good husband, but you screw up once, at that moment, man, it does not matter what else is going on. She's going to be pissed at you for fucking up that moment. That's it.
You could have been great for 2 years, but if you're an asshole for 5 minutes, doesn't matter what those 2 years were like. It's 5 minutes.
Absolutely. But there's the good side of it too, is if you approach it correctly, it can be gone again that fast. That's the cool side, right?
Do we want to give that up this early in the show, the solution?
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving guys I'm just giving you some hope here, guys. Because, without the other side to it, it sounds like it's a really bad thing. But I think once you wrap your head around it, it's actually a really good thing. Because it happens anyway, but if you know how to deal with it, woo!
Yeah. Oh, it happened to me tonight. And here's the thing is it could literally derail. It could derail like the rest of your day, your week, if you don't handle it well. It can really eat you up. Like, if you don't really grasp the fact that it can change in a moment and you make a mistake or whatever, and she's on you about that one thing, and you think that you're going to be able to argue about it because you had a good track record in that area for a long time, it's just like, don't even bother because it's not going to work. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about it. And that's the thing that I got. I was doing this constantly because I feel like I'm like pretty much batting 100 all the time, right? Like I feel like I'm doing pretty good in all areas. And then I would make I'd make a mistake and I'd be like, and she catches it, right? She catches it. Like, and it's like, that just set me back so massive. Because I'm thinking it's all about scorecard, collecting points. And all that. How many men talk about that? Yeah, it's all about collecting points. So we think that
hitting singles, right?
Yeah, just keep hitting singles, doing the right thing. I mean, yeah, that's important, but if you strike out, you could lose the game just one time. Strike out one time, you could lose the whole game, even though you're hitting singles the entire game. And that's what we're saying here. So, yes, hitting singles, doing the right thing consistently is definitely a good thing to do. You want to keep your marriage together, but to bank on your track record, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think it's a really important point that you just opened up there, because you can catch yourself almost in a contradiction pretty quickly. But dudes, we are not saying don't hit singles. No. Keep hitting singles. But this is a way to understand what happens, because you're hitting singles all week, right? And you're like coming up to Friday night and you're like, man, I've been hitting singles all week. I hit 5 on Monday, 7 on Tuesday. I got to be scoring a home run on Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Because I have been hitting singles all week.
Dude, you could be like taking her out, like you'd be hitting singles all week and then taking her out for dinner, to places she really likes, and you're like laughing, you're having a good time. And then you say the wrong thing.
That's right.
Something so like it just came out wrong way or whatever, and all of a sudden you see your energy change, and you know what that's like, right? When you're like, uh-oh.
What just happened?
What just happened? Uh-oh.
Like,
I'm losing her.
Things were going well. I'm in the bottom of the ninth here. Yeah. Bases are loaded. It's Friday night. We just went out to dinner. We're all like happy drunk. Like everything's going well. And then, boom, strike out. Gone. Done.
No. You're like, no.
What?
Wait. No. Oh. And it's like, oh, but babe, we've been having such a good week. Oh, really? Oh, so good. But hon, really? Oh. And she's like having none of it.
None. It's gone.
None. It's
Game's
gone.
over.
And you're like,
before you know it, the stadium's empty. Like
the stadium's totally empty.
Like it went from the ninth inning, score is tied, like you got the bases loaded, the crowd's going wild, everybody's into it, and like literally 3 seconds later, the stadium is empty.
Stays empty. Look around. It's just you and her.
Tumbleweeds are coming through. Like what?
Yeah.
How did this happen? Right.
Yeah, there's a vortex. You feel like you're floating and turning, and things are like, and you don't know what to say. And it's like, first thing that comes up for me is like frustration. It's like, oh, damn it. I'm like, oh. And I get kind of mad at myself. And then I'm like, oh, okay, then I'm going to pull out the track record card. Never works.
Yep.
Never works. I'm like, I'm screwing this up pretty much my whole marriage.
Worse, I think.
Oh, worse. Way worse. Way worse. So what's the answer?
Well, I think the example they gave in the book, right, to give you he talks about it, like just say you're this dude, you got this great track record, blah blah blah, and then like one night you had to work late, and you don't think much of it because it's not like a thing that happens all the time. It barely ever happens, and you get home a bit late and you miss like an appointment with your wife, or like it says on there like you missed a dinner or something, but whatever. You missed something that was planned because you had to work a bit late. And when you get home, and then you get home and she's pissed, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, but for the last 2 years I've been perfect. Like, I get it. I was a bit late, but it's no big deal. I've been perfect for like 2 years. And it's like, she doesn't care about the track record the last 2 years. What she cares about is right now. She's that weather.
Yeah.
She's that constant change. Yeah. And right now the weather's storming, baby. It's like not happy.
Yeah. Today you didn't make it. That's what counts.
That's what counts, is right now. Yeah, not the last 2 years. What counts for me right now is right now. And so I think, should we let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah, I think we should. So I love this. I used it tonight and it worked. It worked. So awesome. I was thinking just before we were coming in to record the podcast, I said the wrong thing.
At this stage, I don't think it matters what was said. It's just, it was wrong.
I just said the wrong thing. I felt
whatever it was, it was wrong.
Yeah. Totally wrong. I saw the energy shift. I'm like, oops, there it is. I'm like, you feel immediately the energy change, the distance, the whole thing. And so the way he talks about it, it works. And what you do is you immediately assume happiness. You, like you shock her with love and like playfulness. And, like I just be, I was just kind of like being a bit of a goofball with her and like just getting her to lighten up and telling her how she's such a sweetie. And oh, it's so good. And I was just being playful and sweetie. And I was like shaking up the energy a bit, like mixing it up, like total contrast. Didn't say anything about anything that happened earlier, nothing like that. Don't bring it up. Don't even bring it up. It's like, just assume happiness.
And so when I read it, what came to mind was, if any of you guys are listening, like Tony Robbins, he calls it a change of state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about invoking a change of state very quickly, right? Don't go into, it's like when it's the storm outside, the weather, the feminine, instead of getting drenched and just getting into the storm and you joining the storm, it's like putting an umbrella up and run through the house naked.
Yeah.
Right? Change the state. Like instantly, yeah. And what he calls it is be happy or be in your happy place or whatever. It's like change that state. He talks about it. And again, I don't have the actual book. I've got the audio book, and I'm surprised how different they are. But I've been reading the book more lately, and Evan, you've mentioned that he talks about licking your partner a lot. So I'm not
neck.
Right.
Lick
so
her neck. Yeah.
Lick her neck. Now, Ev, you said in the pre-show, like it was like, man, if I did that, my wife would just smack me in the face, like. So
she looked at me like I was a weirdo.
So I don't think it means literally, like when he says lick the neck or lick her neck or something. I think what he's saying is change that state. Whatever it's going to work for you, like pick her up, spin her around, pretend you're King Kong, just crack a joke, dad joke, man. Sometimes that works so well, even though they never laugh at him. But it's still a change of state. Right? So somehow creating that change of state and then literally just not going where she was going, right? Like not going in that direction, not getting your back up and not trying to defend yourself or to turn it into the argument. If we have that change of state, it can change just as quickly back again.
Yes.
Right? So that's the key. That's the great part. If you realize what's going on, you can get that power and bang, change it straight back again.
Yeah.
I love it. And I've done it before in the past, but totally by mistake.
Oh yeah, totally by mistake.
No, but I bet you most of the dads out there have done it periodically. And if you try and think back, maybe you can't remember, but if you can, you might actually think back and go, you know what? That does work. When I've done that, even though I didn't know what I was doing, it really works. It changes that state. Boom.
That's unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. So we're trying to create conscious competence.
Do you want to quickly go through the 4 states there with how that works?
Okay, well, it's not going to be perfect, guys. So basically, when we're learning a new skill, or let's say we're on a new journey. We're on a new journey. We see the vision, and it's the perfect marriage. So there it is over there. We can see it in the distance, and it's you and your wife, or you and your partner, and you're happy, and your kids are happy, and everything looks great. And then, okay, so then you start on the journey, and you get married, and you move in together, and it's not what you expect. And but in that moment where you're like seeing the vision though, and you're thinking like, oh, that could be really amazing, that's really exciting, let's get married, that's called inception. So
wasn't that a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I think it might have. Yeah, I don't know who starred in it, but it was definitely in a movie top title.
Has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Nothing to do with no. And we might have lost some listeners right there. But
no, I reckon half the people be like, yeah, it was DiCaprio, or no, that was I don't know, some other guy, but it was totally DiCaprio. I can tell you that straight off. And man, it was a fucking weird movie. I could not figure it out. They kept going into dreams, and anyways, that's completely besides the point. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. You're kind of in a dream.
All right. There you go. See, I'm glad I brought it up.
Well, in a way, we can tie it together and actually, make that tangent make sense here. It's like you're looking at the vision. You're kind of
glad we could do that.
You're kind of dreaming in a way, and you're unconsciously incompetent. You don't even know what you don't know when you're getting into marriage. You have no idea what you're getting into, really. Like,
yeah, really it's like you don't even know that you don't know it yet. Like it's
you don't even know.
You don't know what you're doing, and you don't even know that you don't know yet.
Yes, exactly. Then you get married.
Kind of like becoming a dad.
Exactly. We could use that same example for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
And you have no idea what you're getting into, and then you get into it, and you go, "Holy shit! This is like, whoa!" Like. You'd be like, my wife's crazy or whatever, like mood swings and and this. And she's like, get on me about this. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like all this stuff. And you realize you are now consciously incompetent. You are consciously incompetent.
You have no
idea.
Yeah,
you have no idea. Now you're aware of it. And that's called deception. And that's a stage in the process of a new experience. And a learning curve where our effort and our attitude goes down. Our effort and our attitude goes down when we're in deception, and that's the period of time where there's like it feels like there's a lot of feels like we're kind of walking through mud a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. It's like everything seems a little bit hard, and it's not really that much fun. And
it's like that obstacle in Tough Mudder, where like you're up to your fucking eyeballs in mud, like literally you can't even breathe. You're moving forward, but it feels like you're actually moving backwards. And just as you get to a point, some dude from the thing on the top jumps on your head, and you like literally the mud is like up over your head, and then you come up and you're anyways. Just
exactly.
To give you the visual there.
But then all of a sudden, somebody from the team goes, hey man, if you're in the mud, this is what you got to do to get out of the mud. And you go, oh, okay. And then you try it and you get out of the mud, whereas you would have probably drowned in the mud if you hadn't got the tip. And so suddenly you become consciously competent. You competent, consciously competent.
But only when you're really thinking about it.
When you're only thinking about it, that's the thing. You still got to keep trying. Like I still have to try. I still have to think about it. When these things happen, I got to go, oh, this reminds me of something. Let me think about this for a second. oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is called the transformation stage. All right. And now the really cool stage is when you get to the stage of unconsciously competent. Like you're not even thinking about it and you're crushing it. Like you're so in like the groove, and you and your partner you're in the happy place having a good time, and man, she cannot throw you off, and you just have that relationship in the palm of your hand. You know how to make her just absolutely love being with you as a partner. That's what we call identity. Identity is when that's just you. That's just you. Okay, so you got inception, deception, transformation, and identity. Those are the 4 stages. How did we get to that point, Scott?
How did we go on that tangent?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think it was helpful. Back to that point, though, I think, distinguishing those is really important, but realizing as well that, especially in a relationship, it takes 2 to be in a relationship with anybody, any type of relationship, right? So you cannot have a 100% unconscious competence within a relationship, because it takes the other half, and there's a give and take all the time. So when Ev described it as, you're in the perfect place with your partner, she can do no wrong, you can do no wrong, you're in the groove, everything's amazing, that will have an ebb and a flow to it, of course, right? Because I'm sure some of the dudes sitting back listening to that and going, yeah, I never had that part before. That's not a part of me. That's not something I know about. And so it's not talking about this unconscious competence as a thing in a relationship that's going to be there 100%. But it is when, for example, back to what we're talking about here, that she doesn't give a shit about your track record. She's in the moment. If you become unconsciously aware of that, is when you can pick up on that in an instant before that ball field is empty, and save that game and hit that home run, and not even have to think about what you did to do it. It's just becoming natural.
Yeah. And of course, that's going to make everything flow a lot better. Because if your woman is in that state of like enjoyment when she's around you, like if you go down the rabbit's hole and you try to argue your track record, she's not going to want to be around you. So that's not going to do very well. So it definitely bodes well for being in the place that you want to be in a relationship where things are working a lot better. But yeah, as Scott said, she's got to be doing her part too. Like she may really suck at being a wife for you. Like you could be doing all these strategies and killing it, but it might not be coming from the other side. So, I mean, maybe we'll figure out some stuff later on about that.
Not maybe, we will. Whether we end up doing that through some interviews, or doing that, through our own insights that we gain over this next however long it takes for us to figure this stuff out. And again, I think it's really important for us to point out that we don't have all the answers, man. We're just learning this shit as we go. I think it's helping with us. So try it on, give it a go, see how it goes for you and your specific flow of life wherever you are, whether it's with your relationships. And this can be done really with any type of relationship. We're just talking our wives or partners and things like that as an example. But there's a lot of things that can be done within other relationships that can really be helped. Our work relationships, our friend relationships, our kids, all of that stuff. So try it on.
Try it on. Let us know how it goes. You can post in the Daddiest Facebook page, or as we said, if you want to get on the private page where there's lots of great stuff happening, message either Scott or I on Facebook and we'll add you in, and then bring your friends in. Our dads need this. Our dad buddies need this stuff. You could really make a big impact. Pass on the podcast with your friends. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Whoop.
You there?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought I lost you. No, I was just going to say, jump on that jump on the Daddiest page and connect with us, because this is where the community comes into play, that we can really help each other out. You can listen to this, but get into a group where other dads are talking about this and going through these things together, and get real live back and forth with people. You know, you're not alone out there, Dad. These things that you're going through, I can guarantee you other dads are going through the same thing at the exact same time. So just reach out and help, get some help.
Yep. Absolutely.
See you next time.
See you next time, Dad.
Thanks for listening. Remember, join our Facebook community, Daddiest, where conscious dads connect and collaborate.